seamless. The staff, the coaches, the players. This is such a unbelievable environment to get your job done in. And from the day-to-day process to the meeting room, to all those guys just, listening and trying to be detail-oriented, it makes it seamless.
I know you weren't here last year. When you went back and looked at film of some of the, the big runs and some of the big plays they gave up, did you kind of see a common thread that you focused on going into this year?
Nope, never watched it.
Really?
Didn't take 1 second to watch any of the film from the past. It wasn't about that. I was more ingrained, and I've talked a little bit about it in the past, of just getting into my guys' lives, getting into them, getting a hold of the room, learning all the details of them, what makes them tick, and moving forward, what Coach McIntyre needs in the system, what Coach Luke needs in the program. So to be honest with you, my whole focus has been on the future and of what they can do, not what they didn't do in the past, if that makes sense.
Just before camp started, you talked about you expected a lot of competition there amongst your inside backers. Did you get what you wanted out of it?
Absolutely, every day. And it's funny, when you walk into a room and you tell them they're gonna have competition, and you got to show them. And I think we got some attention really early in camp. I think day 3, we switched some stuff up, we changed some things up, got their attention, and I think they saw that, okay, they're serious, he's serious about the expectation and the standard in the room. And I'll tell you what, every day since the guys have, we talk about selfless brothers push each other, and they have been unbelievable to embrace that competition and to allow it to improve their game. And if you do that, you got a chance to get the maximum output out of the entire room. It's not necessarily like you had mentioned the one player, it's out of the room. And getting them to buy into, hey, this might be the thing that you're really, really good at. You may need to work on this a little more, but guess what? I got somebody in the room that's really good at that. And it might be a 5-headed monster, 6-headed monster, however many, so to speak. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what gets the most output out of the room. And they've embraced that. Not always easy. But at the end of the day, it's what's needed for us to have maximum output.
When you say change some things up, you're talking about depth chart?
Absolutely, yeah. By period, by day, by situation, they've got to be all hands on deck. And we talk about, understanding too different coaching styles, and intensity versus high teaching, and high mental versus high intensity, and where we're at with those two things, and then putting that with competition. It develops that mental toughness that Coach Luke's talking about, that physical toughness that he's talking about. But at the end of the day, that's how you get a great camp. You get the guys going day to day, drill to drill. And, I think we've done that. I think it has improved our depth. I think it's improved our play overall. And, we'll find out Saturday how much better we've become.
You mentioned having a 5 or 6-headed monster.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you anticipate against Memphis, using all these guys at that position group?
Yeah, I think you got to have the ability to. Or it's going to be August, whatever that is, 31st, I believe is the day, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be 11 o'clock and all that, and everybody knows that. But, we've trained for that. We're ready for that. We've embraced that. And, we're going to have not just bodies to put out there, but very capable and competent bodies and minds to make the checks, make the adjustments. And that's what you have to do. And that might go into November, who knows? But at the end of the day, it's also a very long season, and depth is something that now that we're back to the full allotment of scholarships and all those things that have been spoken about in detail, we have that ability now, and that's what it should be in the SEC.
Was there a specific point in camp to where things kind of clicked with Lakia? I know it was a little unorthodox for a JUCO guy not to have the spring, but it seemed like the last week and a half or so he came on.
Yeah, I think every day there's a new light bulb that goes off, so to speak, and I don't know what we're in now, day 19 of camp, and if you look at it, he just finished spring ball. He just finished 15 practices of spring ball that some of these early enrollees had. So now he's on the front. So where you take a kid like Sam Williams, who's now on day 30 of practice, how much better he's gotten with Coach Nixon, and the scheme is unbelievable in that second 15 days. Well, Lakia is just starting to hit that, so you start seeing full understanding of things. The other thing is he's playing in a room with some older guys. He's got a Willie Hibbler that's a senior that's played the position in the league, Jacquez Jones who played, and Momo and Dante. And, so with all of that combined, you're going to start seeing improvement every single day. Obviously what he brings is the physicality and the love for the game, which all the guys have. So it's been fun to coach him.
How much does it help from a coaching perspective to just be able to focus on those inside guys, knowing that you have Coach Nix with the outside backers?
Unbelievable, and not just being able to focus your attention on just the two inside spots, but now you've got a coordinator with the experience of Coach McIntyre. You've got Coach Nix, Tyrone on the outside backers with so much experience, and you're learning something every day from people like that. And then Charles and having his experience in this system with Coach McIntyre and Freddie, who obviously has been in and out of a 3-down front his entire career. So, I mean, and I've said it before. I mean, just the whole room and how you can feed off of each other is exciting. So, you try to take bits and pieces from everybody, but to be able to dive in and really focus on those two guys, it's fun.
Was it tough at first